So here we have the Haida filter holder. This is the 150mm series, and specifically this one's for the 14-24 2.8, the Nikon lens. So here it is on the lens itself. This is a D750 with the 14-24 and the filter holder, just to give you size. It is really big, as you can see. There's no getting away from that fact, and one of the disadvantages of that being is it takes up so much room in your bag. So it is something to consider definitely when you're looking at this. The filter holder is pretty simple to operate. It comes in 3 parts. So you've got this screw here, and this is how you can twist it side to side, and then you just tighten the screw in here and that locks it in. It's pretty sturdy, and I've never had a fear of it actually falling off when I was out in the field. The way you actually take that off then is, you can hopefully see on the video, it's actually quite hard to see, this little notch here, and there's a mark here as well. It says put in, take out. So once those two are lined up, it just comes off like that then. So that's how you actually take it off. So sometimes if I'm putting in filters, I'll actually take it off, so that I can put in the filters a little bit easier. Looking at that then in a little bit more detail, there's a notch here, one here, and one here, and they correspond to, there's 3 gaps then on this system, and once you have the 3 of those lined up, they fit in. I will say that definitely this is one of my kind of disadvantages, or things that I don't like about this holder. It is pretty cumbersome. Like if you're looking at it from this angle, it's hard to figure out exactly how they line up to slot on. Like it's easier to have a look at the notch back here, but that notch again is really small. And compared to other systems where it doesn't matter on the angle that you're actually putting it on, you can put it on, you know, say this way, or whatever, it doesn't matter. It is a little bit more tricky, and does take a little bit more getting used to, but that said, you do get used to it, and you kind of just deal with it after a while. But I do think that could be improved in possibly in future generations of the system. One of the nice things at this end then as well with the filter holder is these spare slides. So there's 2 slides are inserted, or they come fitted, and you can tighten those with just a basic screwdriver. But they come with extra slides, so if you want to put 3 filters on, you can do that. And also comes with a spare gasket. So it's one of the nice features of this, that the gasket is pre-fitted here around the edge, so when your filters actually slide in, there's no gap between them. And it just helps with light leaks, and just keeping a nice kind of firm fit between the filter and the filter holder. Having a spare one of those is really nice, because you can see I've been using this for 3 months. It's a little bit worn. I mean, it should last for a good while, but it's nice. It's a nice touch that they actually send a spare one out with the filter holder. Just giving you a quick look at one of the filters in the filter holder. This one is a 6-stop. I'll have a separate review of the 6-stop and the polarizer. They're the 2 filters that I got sent out to me in a separate video. But having a look at them, they just slide in pretty smoothly and fits perfectly. Again, like I said, that gasket, it's probably kind of hard to see in the video, but just gasket is sealing everything around the edges so that there's no light leaks. Obviously you can take care of your viewfinder yourself, but you don't have to worry about any light leaks coming in at the side of the filter holder. That's something that I know some filter holders have an issue with, but it's never something I've experienced here. You can see it's sealed all the way around the back as well, so in terms of light leaks, really good. So you've seen the filter system on the lens and mounted on the camera. Here it is now how to actually put it on. So this is the lens itself. It's rare for me to actually see the lens without the filter holder on it. I pretty much leave it on all the time. It's just easier, because this is a little bit, I wouldn't say tricky to do, but it is time consuming, and it would be hard to do if you're standing over a river or something like that. I wouldn't recommend doing it in that situation. So lens has to be off the body. Then you take, so this ring here, slots, there's 4 notches, and these 4 notches correspond to the grooves here in the lens hood. The lens hood obviously in this lens is fixed, so you slot those in, and then you turn the lens upside down, and this ring here slides on over the top. It's a pretty snug fit, and then just screw it together. Make sure it's nice and tight. Once that's on, then there's no fear of it coming off. I'm completely trusting in that. It's really sturdy. It's all metal, all aluminium, so it's really well built, and I definitely don't think it's going to break. So once that's on, then all you have to do is turn it over. You find the notch here and the corresponding one here. Twist it on and tighten the screw, and there you go. So it doesn't take that much time. It is definitely trickier than other systems, I think, just because you have to have the lens off the body. But it's once it's on, yes, the lenses take up a good bit more room, so you kind of have to take that into account with fitting it in your bag. But obviously that's the kind of pros and cons of using such a wide angle lens. So to summarise then, for the 150mm filter system by Haida, really happy with it overall. The build quality is fantastic, all made out of aluminium. The way everything slots together is kind of really reassuring, because I don't have any fear of it coming off, and everything seems to work really well. The grooves that actually hold the filters, they're aluminium on the outside here with plastic down the middle, and that actually hold contact with the filters so it doesn't scratch the filters. You can tighten them, like I was saying, with the screws, but I've never had to do that. And the gasket, although it's starting to wear a little bit, I've had no issues with light leaks, and it's been working really well. That said, I have only used the 6 stop and now 10 stop, so I wouldn't be doing super long exposure during the day or anything like that. Disadvantages though, then, I suppose the main one is pretty obvious, is the size, and it's just the nature of using filters this size. So with lenses like the 14-24 or the 11-24 by Canon, or the say 15-30 by Tamron, any of those lenses that have a fixed lens hood, that you can't use the traditional screw-on filters or the 100mm filter system, all of those have the disadvantage of the size of this. But that's something that you just have to consider when you're buying the lens. I don't think it's something specific to this system, and this filter holder isn't any bigger than any of the other ones, so it's just something to do with the lens. But that said, I will say there is one thing I definitely think Haida could improve if they were making a future generation of this model, and that's in the system here to take on and off the holder. Like I was saying, you have to line the two of these up and then it comes on and off, but that's the only kind of area, the whole way around, the only angle that you actually get to take it off at. It doesn't come off at any other angle, and that's quite cumbersome when you're in the field, especially because these markings are so small. To be able to see those when you're out in the field and take them off can be kind of difficult, but it's a small thing, I suppose, and you do get used to it after a while. Overall though, really happy with it, and I would definitely recommend them.